Today we're going to do something a little different, but just as crafty and fun as always, and I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this inspiration board or mood board behind me. So let's get started. And guys, today's tutorial is sponsored by Best Fiends, the free puzzle adventure game where you collect cute fiends and defeat slugs. Download the game for free using my link. You'll find it in the video description. Download the game for free to win $5 worth of game gold and diamonds. You can play Best Fiends without Wi-Fi, and this month you can play the Valentine's Day challenge to win massive prizes. So click the link in the video description to try the free game Best Fiends. It's like best friends without the R. Now let's get to today's video. Hey guys, I'm Shayda, and on this channel I make art tutorials like hand lettering, bougeot, and watercolor. So if you're into that, consider subscribing if you haven't already. And for those of you that don't know, Chris and I just recently moved to Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island permanently, and so we're still getting settled in our new apartment. And part of getting settled for me, of course, was building a beautiful studio space that's very functional but also is very beautiful, not just for my sake but just so that it looks cool on camera too. And so one of the projects that I took on was this inspiration board, and it's really fun to build, but then it also really helps the artistic process and the creative process, I think. So I'm excited to show you guys this, but before we get into it, let me just say a few words. Well, I mean, being creative every day is a challenge, and even though you're an artistic person and you have a good eye, sometimes it's really difficult, even though you've got that good taste, to know exactly what color palette to choose for a landing page or a social graphic. But a mood board can really help with that. When I pulled this postcard, I got this in Iceland, but I didn't bring it home to remember the trip. I brought it home because I love the color palette. I love the soft pink and the dark, cool blue green, and I can draw on that picture when I want to create a color palette for, say, a social landing page or some web page that I'm building, some project that I need to work on. So I can pull out the black, the white, the warm brown, the cool blue, that soft baby pink, and all of a sudden, boom, I've got a color palette. And Adobe products now, something like Photoshop, can actually, if you scan that photo in, you can use your eyedropper and grab all those colors. So it's pretty cool, but even without that, it can inspire you, the artist, towards the right colors for the project that you're working on. Okay, let's get started. Let's stop talking, and I'm going to show you guys how I built this thing. So the supplies for this craft are fairly simple. You're going to need those pieces of foam board that you can get at the dollar store or craft store. I used 4 of them, but you can use as many as you like to make yours the size you need. And then you'll need duct tape and scissors and some nice fabric. And IKEA actually sells linen now, and I love the look of linen on this board. And you might want an iron for the fabric, and then of course you'll need some pins and maybe washi tape to decorate your board. So if you're like me and you're using 4 pieces of foam board, you're going to start by taping 2 of them together, get them nice and straight. Then you're going to tape the next 2 together. And then you're going to take those 2 large pieces and tape everything together. And that'll help you create a nice straight giant board.
This is going to be really cool.
Now once you've got the board put together, you're going to want to grab your fabric and give it a good iron, especially if it's something like cotton or linen that probably has a ton of creases in it. And then you're going to cut it to size, which is just slightly larger. Give yourself 6 inches at least on each side of the board. And then you're going to tape it down, and you're going to pull as hard as you can and tape it down to the back of that board. And then for the corners, just try your best to fold them in nice and flat. Just do a simple fold, and then you're going to tape those down while pulling hard as usual. So you just want to make sure the fabric is nice and taut. That's the main thing. And I did that by going around from side to side. So I'd start on one side, tape a bit down, go to the next side, tape a bit more down, and so on. Okay, now for the real test, do we pull hard enough on the sides and tape it? We'll know if we have a nice smooth board without a lot of creases or bumps. So let's take a look. Oh wow, that looks really good. Yeah, that worked out just perfectly. I'm super happy with that. I love the color that it brings to the room. It's nice and neutral, and it's really warm gray. And so now I'm just going to take a couple of finishing nails, tack them up in the corners so that it's flush on the wall, and then I'm ready to decorate.
So yeah, I was able to put mine up with just basically a finishing nail in each corner, so not a big deal at all and not a lot of damage to the wall. And then once that was done, I started decorating, and I just put things that inspired me. So some work from one of my favorite artists, some of my own projects from the channel, some photographs, and different pieces that sort of inspire the color palette for the channel and the blog. And so it really is, it becomes this mood board, this inspiration board that you can look at every day and draw a lot of inspiration from, hopefully. Let me know what you put on your mood board in the comments below.
Thanks for watching today, guys, and don't forget, in 2018 I'm releasing a lot of supplementary material that goes along with the videos. So last week we did a Bujo video and there was a planner printable to go along with it. Next week I've got a hand lettering video for you and there will be a worksheet to go along with that. And to make sure that it's really fair, I'm releasing all of the supplementary content on Patreon for $2 a month, so that way you don't have to pay for each printable or each supplementary worksheet. So check out my Patreon now for the February printable and lots more goodies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.